In this lesson, we're going to look at building a steel beam structure. Now, this seems fairly straightforward, and in many respects it is, but it does pose a couple of really nice issues to kind of work out and problem solve. So the idea is you create a bunch of steel beams that all interconnect to each other until you make this lovely tower block or something like that. You can copy and paste the beams as much as you want. You can go as long as you want, and you can go as high as you want. But the only requirement is that each beam is connected to all beams. So all beams have to be connected. So let me show you how to get started. So I'll just draw the first few, and then you guys can be as creative as you want. And you can build whatever structure you want. So if you want to build something like the Eiffel Tower, you can do that. Or if you want to build some kind of scaffolding frame, you can do that. It really doesn't matter. So we're just going to start with a rectangle, and I would definitely say the rectangle is better than using a circle. At the moment, I find the circles are really hard to intersect with each other. So until I've worked that out, then I'm just sticking with the rectangle, but hopefully by next week I'll have that worked out. So click on the rectangle, and we're just going to create one nice rectangle here just to create the base of our structure. So there we go, we've got a nice square rectangle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to triple click on this and then press Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac, and then Control V or Command V if you're on a Mac to copy and paste. And at least that way I get the same base. I'm just going to work along this and Control V again to create another one. And I'm just going to create 3 because I'm going to try and link these two together at the end, so I create kind of a cross beam. So far so good. The next thing we need to do is push them then. So let's pull this first one out. Oh, still had the other one selected, never mind. So let's pull this one out first. Now let's pull this one out. So if I just deselect, because currently I've got something selected so I don't want to, pull this one out. Now if I pull my mouse over to this surface, it will actually pull the other beam up in level with it, which is exactly what I want. So let's just go round to this one, pull this one, and just bring my cursor over to this one, and it will level it out for me. So the next thing I want to do is create a beam that intersects them. So I'm just going to do that here. So if I get my pencil tool and draw a beam there, that's nice. And then we'll get my push tool and we'll connect these two beams. And there we go, that one's connected. Now we'll do the same with this one. So connecting both of these. And then let's pull this one across. So far so good. We've created our first part of this structure and it looks okay. But you're going to want to do cross beams. So you're going to want beams that go from the left top to the right bottom and things like that, just to kind of make the structure feel really secure. The one I'm going to create now is from this point here all the way over to this point. Now you might think that you could just create a line like so and then just drag over, but in actual fact that's really difficult to do. It doesn't quite work with SketchUp, but you still need to create the points. So I'm going to do the same on all of these. I'm just going to create the points. So I create this surface. Now the next thing that you actually want to do is, just so you can see it, you're going to draw a line from this point here all the way to this point. It will start by filling in this position, but that's not a problem. We'll delete that in a moment. Now create a point from this one all the way to this one. So now we have our beam, and once again we can come in and we can just delete this surface. We don't need that. So now let's create another one from here all the way to here, and that should create that beam there, but it hasn't. Not to worry, we'll see what's going on with that in a second. So now create one from here all the way to here, and that has completed it, hopefully. So when I spin around, hopefully that last bit is completed, and for some reason it's hollow. I'm not really sure about that, because that should have completed a full shape. I'm not really too worried about that. It's for the most part done exactly the way I wanted it to. So your mission then is to keep going with this. So you could keep creating these base objects, and then intersect them. So if you wanted to go up even taller, you could create the object here, you could create the object here, and then you could start taking them up. If you wanted to go out to the side, you could do the same here. So you could create your objects here, so that you can take them out to the side. And you can be as creative as you want here, really. It's completely up to you what the end result looks like. Really not too worried about that. Now, because I pulled that one out, I am going to have to redraw that line. And once again, just bring it in over to there. And I can draw the base as well. So I'm just going to draw these 2 lines, and then I'm going to call it a day for mine, and you guys can have a go at doing this for yourselves and see how yours looks by the end of it. So, but you can start to see that it is looking very much like some kind of steel structure or some kind of tower structure, probably more like a concrete structure, to be fair. Okay, so there's your mission. Go as tall as you want, go as wide as you want. The only requirement is that all blocks are intertwined, they all connect to each other.